Understand?
Well, yeah, you can, when you tune in, don't forget there's different levels.
Mm-hmm.
You can do near Earth when you're psychic, so obviously you was using a psychic ability and picking up the vibration of what everybody else was presuming and doing.
Right.
Because holding an object of something or even a picture and looking at it is a form of psychometry. And so that is what happens. And you literally pick up if you're, you know, if you was doing something where you sat down, meditated, and asked your guide to draw close and said, please can you tell me, you'd have probably come up with the right answer of there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But by doing psychometry, holding the picture, you hold yourself to the earth plane. And so what you do is you pick up on all those people, what they're saying, what they're thinking, and everything else.
Exactly. Okay.
And you pick that up on there. Okay?
Now, with past lives, see? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mitzi.
No, I was just going to say, would you not compare that to General George Patton?
What do you mean, General George Patton? Don't forget I'm English.
Okay.
All I know was he slapped a soldier and had 2 guns and pranced around like an idiot. But
pardon me. General Patton had quite a bit of deja vu. He knew the streets of Rome. He says, I have been here. He knew the streets of Italy. He would say, I have been here. He was quite an extraordinary man. If he would ever get the chance to want to sit down and to read a little bit of American history, pick up a book on General George Patton. And his similarities and rich similarities are actually quite a bit alike. They had never, I am like a map in my head. I can go to places, I can tell you, somebody can say, well, where is Doc's candy store? And I would be in Amsterdam, and I'd say, well, you go down 4 blocks, make a left, 2 lights, and it's on the right. You know,
I can explain that.
And I think that's what this is.
I can. There's 2 explanations for that with people. One is you have out-of-body experiences, especially with General George Patton. He was a general. He was fighting a war, and so when he go to sleep or rest, his mind will be on that, the problems that it takes. And he was out of body, and he went travelling those streets, those roads. He'd know it. And then when he woke up in the morning, it would partly, subconsciously, it would help his process of thinking, and that's why he was so successful. The other one is the barrier between past lives and the mind is very thin. And so when you were there in a past life, you can pick up on it. And so that's why, you get deja vu, which is, once again, you could, if you're thinking about a place from before when you're going on holiday and you're driving down there and you get there and all of a sudden you recognise the place and everything. It's because you, during the night before you was going, you either went down and saw it, or it's past life. You've been there in a past life. Those are the 2 reasons this happens.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, some of the stuff I come up with is what their past lives is. I actually, I pick up their interests. For instance, this one lady, I was reading her, and I told her she was from England. She was, a queen, and then in her house, she's got all this stuff from England, and she's got all this stuff about royalty. See, it's like I'm picking up exactly, and whenever I do these past life reads, I really go there. I really go to these places, and I get names and information and stuff that I've never, and I'm not the greatest with history or geography, but I'm telling you, when I bring the information back and I look it up, it's right on target, like I actually went there and actually did that. And it's really, it's an amazing thing, but it takes a lot out of me when it does that. Whenever I do that, it takes a lot out of me.
But don't forget, in a way, when you're opening up on what you're doing there, with myself, when I can do that and I choose not to. I choose to do the proof of life after death. That is what I do for people.
Okay.
I'm very, very lucky. I was born with all the gifts, but that's what I choose to do. And as for yourself, you know, when you're doing those past lives and it comes up, what's happening is that it's all out there. There is if you imagine a river of time, and what you're doing is dipping into it for that person through their vibration.
Everything is connected. Everything is connected.
Yeah, and because you know, the best way to show people when they say about how different people, different things. If you think back to when you was 5 years old, to when you was 9 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old, 18 years old, and 21 years old, you look back at those times, they were different people. You see, and this is the way your lives were, the past lives as well, because the essence that is you, the essence that is your spirit and your energy is the same. It's been there from eternity, from the start of the beginning. There was a certain amount of spirit put out, and it has always been there, and it helped. As this world has grown, what's happened is that we have expressed ourselves first as we crawled out of the slime through the amoeba. We crawled out and passed and went back to the spirit world. We come back again as a small little animal descended, and then we grew into man. The expression of spirit, as it becomes more and more complicated, more and more of our mind grows, so we express more and more. But it's always been there. It just changes, and this is us, because only part of us expresses through. It's easy enough to do. If you hold your hand up in front of your face and look at your 4 fingers and your thumb, each one of those has an individual life. It has your little finger perhaps has been broken, the second finger has been burnt, third finger has been cracked or crushed, the 4th finger and thumb might have been dislocated. You know, so each one of those has its own experiences, but they're connected to the hand, which is in turn connected to us. So do you see how?
That's pretty brilliant. Pretty brilliant. I like that. Very impressive.
Thank you. It's what I do. You know, as well as do. I mean,
that's very cool. Now, see, I actually I have reading boards on my sites, and I do I posted on one site mind reading, and actually I read people's. I say, let me read your mind, and I get their dreams a lot. A lot of times I'll get their dreams, their nightmares, their fears, which is very, very interesting. And then I post them, and then they come back and say, yes, that's exactly, this is what I dream every night. And that's kind of interesting now. Is that you think that's connecting? That's just all connecting too, basically.
But yeah, but we have to be compartmentalized within our minds and our lives, because the reason why is to grow spiritually, to bring more light to is, if you know what's gone wrong and what's gone on before, there is no test, is there? What they're trying to do, and what we are trying to do, and the higher self is trying to do, is to develop our spiritual nature by working through, by the choices we make in this life, not the choices we've made in the past life. That's why we've come back, because to see if we've grown spiritually, so that morally we make the right choice, to be of service. Instead of walking away from someone, we walk towards them to help them. And all of this is the spiritual nature. And it is, but it is, I say paranormal, I'm not quite sure where the word para comes from, really, because it is normal. It's super normal, really, more than paranormal. Does that make sense to you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Very interesting.
Yeah, thank you. And Mitzi, can I ask you a question, please?
Well, we see. What would you like to know, dear?
Listen, I might have all these wonderful gifts, okay, but I'm certainly not as spiritual a person as you. I'll tell you that now. You have such a beautiful soul, And the lady that's standing with me, which comes in on a mother link to you, who passed over with a chest complaint, she's very, very proud of you. And she says that there's a birthday just coming. Is that right, please?
Everything but the birthday. My birthday was actually in January. But I never
No, not your birthday, but there is a family birthday just coming, isn't there?
Actually, there are 3.
Right, one, but we're in August, so I want one about the 28th of August. I might be 1 or 2 days out there, but one about the 28th of August.
I got married at the 24th of August, and my husband's birthday was the 23rd of August.
All right.
I'm speaking of my grandmother. My grandmother raised me.
So your grandmother? Yeah, the lady,
Yeah.
she raised you, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's why she comes in on the mother link to you, because she's the one that did that. You know, she just wants to come in and say she loves you and she's proud of you.
Yeah,
That's what she's there for.
Hey, Mark, can I ask you a question?
Yes, please, Rick.
Hey, Mark, I'm picking up something on you, actually. I don't know where I'm picking this up, but I'm seeing like a coin, a silver coin or a coin that keeps flipping. It keeps flipping like a coin. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it's the choices we make. How do we do our choices?
Okay.
It's about choices.
Yeah.
I'm at a crossroads with choices.
Okay.
I've been put into a leadership position or role. Question, Mark. Do you believe that the spirit is an earthly phenomenon or is it a multidimensional?
I'm losing you guys.
None of them.
Hello?
Neither of all.
Yeah, we're here,
what
Rick.
it is.
I'm thinking somebody doesn't want us to talk.
Well, that could be too. We've had that happen before, have we not, Mark?
What's that?
Because it's just like it was a second voice coming in on top of another voice, and it was very different.
Yeah, we've had that.
There's,
someone was cutting in and taking out. Yeah.
Yeah, we've
definitely. Everybody was about the word para. Actually, it's Greek. Yes, para is Greek, and it means to be at one side or to be side by side. So I would say that means for 2 entities, 2 spirits, 2 worlds, to be side by side to make it normal. Therefore, it is paranormal. It's a verb.
Yeah, thank you. I left school at 15. No, I didn't. I left school a bit earlier. I was asked to leave. Thank you.
Yeah, well, that's because you were too ugly and you were scaring the other kids because they were in the 1st and 2nd grade and you were like 30-something years old.
Behave yourself, I can tell you. Do you know, it's worse than my
you know
kids,
something?
honestly.
You know something, Mark? My mom used to do readings in coffee cups, and my brother, he could do readings by spoons. He would actually look at the light in spoons, and then my sister could actually hold the object to her forehead and actually
that's
nothing
psychometry. But all they are just tools. The difference between all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. But anybody who's a psychic can, with patience and on a regular basis of teaching with the right teacher, can develop into a spiritualist medium to talk with spirit. But as I say, all because some people took this the wrong way when I said that a spiritualist mediumship, not medium, but spiritualist mediumship, to communicate with spirit, is the top of the tree in this life. And the reason why that is, it doesn't say it's any better than, it's not better than tarot, it's not better than psychometry or anything like that. It's just that on this journey we're climbing the path and the mountain and the tree. And the next stage on from that, from talking to spirit, you're on earth, they're in the spirit world, is you're dead and talking to them face to face. So
Wow.
Hey, Rick and Mitzi.
Interesting.
it's been all quiet.
Definitely.
Hey, Rick and Mitzi, I have a
This
question for
internet's killing
y'all.
me tonight.